What are the 7 most common regrets that sellers have when selling in today's market? Regret number 1 is not properly preparing the home for sale. If you follow my videos, you know that I preach on this all the time. And I have some sellers who have really good intentions on doing some things, but then we get down to the wire and they're like, well, I just don't have time to do it. Let's just go ahead and put it on the market. Well, we have to make a price adjustment when we do these types of things. A lot of times, sellers don't believe me when I tell them if you would just take 2 weekends and do this, it's going to get you this amount of money versus selling it right now as is, you're going to get this amount of money. So that's a number 1 regret is not properly preparing the home for sale. Regret number 2 is pricing the home incorrectly. When we talk about the numbers each month, we talk about the price changes, we talk about the average days on the market, and we talk about that percentage of homes that go under contract within the first 30 days. And their list to sell price ratio is nearly 100% every month. So, why do other homes have to keep coming down? Because they failed to price their home properly to start with. Regret number 3 is not understanding the market conditions. And not understanding the market conditions is what leads to pricing your home incorrectly. We are not in the same market we were in 2021. Are homes still selling fairly quickly? Sure, if they're prepared properly to go on the market and if they're priced properly. But you're not going to have 20 people coming in to write an offer $50,000 above list price and waive their home inspection. Interest rates are higher. Buyers are having to pay more per month to live in a home right now. So they're going to be pretty picky about what they want in a house. And they're not going to be waiving home inspections. And they're probably going to be asking for repairs. Regret number 4 is choosing the wrong agent. And I'm going to tell you, I know so many times I've had someone call me and they're wanting a second opinion because they've talked to someone they go to church with, someone that lives in their subdivision, someone they went to high school with, and they feel like they're getting bad advice. And so when mainly it's estate situations where you've got other siblings involved, those siblings probably don't live around here. And they talk to those other siblings and they're like, well, this is what so and so said for us to do, and this is what he said we can get for the house. And they're like, yeah, no, we're not doing that. And so they end up calling me to ask for my opinion on it. What do you think we could get for the house? What do you think we need to do to get the home ready for the market? So hiring the wrong agent is going to cost you money and it's also going to cost you time. So make sure that you don't just hire someone that you know, but you don't know on a professional basis. I tell everybody, Google who you're talking to. What kind of reviews do they have? How active are they on social media? How many home sales do they have? How many listings do they sell versus how many buyers are they selling homes to? That's information that you need to look at when choosing a realtor. Regret number 5 is ignoring early offers. And again, this can be a cardinal sin when you're selling your house. A lot of times we will get an offer within a day or two on the market, and somebody thinks that they're going to lowball because they're a cash buyer or they can close quick or whatever the case may be. And 9 times out of 10, the seller's knee jerk reaction is just reject it. I'm not even signing that. That's ridiculous. That's absolutely ludicrous. I get it. It's personal for you, but that's why you hired me as your agent to negotiate for you. So, what you have to understand, a lot of times, your first buyer is your buyer. They may come in with a low offer, but it doesn't matter where you start, it matters where you end. So, counter them back. Keep that deal alive because they may come up. They may just be filling you out to see how desperate are you to sell your house. But if you don't counter them, you'll never know. I've recently had a situation like that where we received an offer significantly lower than our list price within the first week of being on the market. We did counter with them, but the seller wasn't willing to come to the place where the buyer said, this is the max I'm going. Seller said, no, we've only been on the market a week. I'm not doing that. Okay. So now we're on the market 30 days later, and I have the seller going, hey, can you see if those people would still want to buy at that price? Well, guess what? They've already bought something else now. So don't ignore your first offer because it may be the best offer once you come to a mutual agreement. Regret number 6 is overlooking closing costs and additional expenses. A lot of times when sellers go to sell their house, all they're thinking about is, okay, so my commission is X, and so after my payoff, this is the amount of money I'm going to get. But you're not thinking about, are you paying the buyer's closing cost? Are you thinking about an assessment that your HOA has that you forgot about that's going to come out of your net? Are you thinking about any repairs that you have to make in order for the buyer to purchase your home? You've got to think of all these things. So when you're talking to your agent, make sure you ask for a net sheet and ask them to cover all of those types of expenses with you. The last regret is emotional decision making. And that kind of ties in with the ignoring the early offers. A lot of times sellers have an emotional attachment to a house. Around here, we have people who typically live in a house more than your average American does. They say, I think 7 or 8 years is the average time that people live in a home before they sell it. My parents have lived in their home for 53 years. I know other people that their parents still live in the same house, or even some of my friends have been in the same house for 20, 25 years now. You have an emotional attachment. You watched your kids grow up in these houses. You've had prom parties, you've had sleepovers. There's a lot of sentimental attachment. But when you go to sell, you've got to take that emotional decision making out of the process. And it has to be a logical business decision for you. Again, that's why you hire a realtor. We're going to help you stay objective in the situation and say, look, I know it's not the ideal situation. I know that's not what you originally planned on having to happen, but this is where we're at. So take a couple of hours, calm down, think things through, and then let's make our decision from there. So if you're thinking about selling your house and you don't want to have these regrets, please reach out to me. Let's have a conversation and let's get your home ready to go on the market and sell within 30 days.